Do you think society ignores man pain until something tragic happens?
It's a sad reality, but
You lost a close friend due to mental health struggle. What happened and how that incident changed your life?
oh my god, life is so short. I guess that helped me kind of look at the future in a different way. The second incident with the suicide made me ask myself what life is and what can I do for men, especially in today's world.
Many people say men should be strong and not cry. Do you think this mindset is destroying men emotionally?
I agree with the first half of that statement. Men should be strong. But the second part, which is men shouldn't cry, you're preventing them from really expressing their emotions. In fact, crying and being vulnerable can also be a strength.
Do you think it is mostly in Nepal?
It's more prevalent in Nepal, but there are other societies that have that.
How can we as female and women in the family can ensure that our men in the family are getting taken care of?
If we can create a very supportive and safe environment for men at home, safe space will consist of a few things. Unconditional love. Second is, if they share something with you, you shouldn't talk about it to other people, your friends, because you're violating their privacy. Lastly, no judgment. No matter how strong a man is, inside they're still a small boy, very vulnerable, and they are craving for love and attention and support and understanding.
Statistics shows that men have higher suicide rates, 4 times higher than the females. Why do you think this is happening, Dai?
Yeah, that's shocking, isn't it? 4 times.
4 times, yes.
Many factors.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Nishu with Dikshya. Today's episode is very special and close to heart because in today's episode we are going to talk about men's mental health, topics that are rarely discussed in our society, in our community. Our guest today is someone who is not only a young entrepreneur but also a voice for men mental health awareness. He is the founder of DYG Hub and co-founder of Hemnath, and someone who has turned personal pain into a powerful mission to support and uplift others. Please join me in welcoming Dinesh Ruka to Nishu with Dikshya. Okay, welcome to Nishu with Dikshya, Dai.
Thank you.
So before everything that you are today and have achieved today, I want to know who is Dinesh Ruka as a person.
As a person, so if you had to go start from foundation, I would say I'm like infinite consciousness trapped in this little body of flesh, bone, and blood. But beyond that, I guess I'm a human being like everyone else, 1 out of 8 billion. Beyond that, I am a son, a husband, and now a dad of a 3-year-old daughter.
Okay, so we heard that you lost a close friend due to mental health struggle. Can you share what happened and how that incident changed your life?
So I wouldn't call it a close friend, more like someone I knew.
Okay.
And I didn't know this person very closely, but I met him, every now and then a few times. And a few months before the event, I had the chance to meet him. But he looked fine. I didn't see any issue. I didn't feel that he was going through any mental illness. But then 2 months later, the incident happened, and it just shocked me because I thought everything was well and fine. But oftentimes, you don't really see what's going on behind, someone. They may seem fine from outside, but inside they are going through a lot of struggles and their own mental health issues. So I guess we shouldn't be quick to judge. You mentioned close friends. I did lose a close friend, but not due to mental health. It was when I was like around 18 years or something like that. I lost a close friend in a motorbike accident. And both that incident of losing a close friend in an accident and seeing someone I know die of suicide kind of really changed, I guess, my perspective of life. The first incident with my close friends really shook me up and made me ask questions like, oh my God, life is so short. You can literally be gone anytime, right? So how am I supposed to live my life knowing that And so I guess that helped me kind of look at the future in a different way. The second incident with the suicide made me ask myself, what can I do for young men in today's world? If I had known this beforehand, would I, maybe I could have reached out to that person and spoke to that person, made connection. Maybe I could have done something to prevent it or help him in some ways, right? So those two incidents really kind of made me think really hard as to what life is and what can I do for men, especially in today's world.
Okay. Do you think society ignores man pain until something tragic happens?
I think society ignores not just men, but everyone until something tragic happens. If you look at a lot of the laws that we have in this country and around the world, the health and safety laws, the Fire Act laws, it only happened after something bad happened, right?
Yeah.
After countless people lost lives. And then the government were forced to come up with the law. So it's a sad reality, but sometimes, and oftentimes, there has to be something tragic happening before something dramatic to change.
Okay. Why is men's mental health still a taboo topic in many communities like Nepal, mostly in Nepal?
It is a taboo topic, not just in Nepal, but many parts of the world, I think. A lot less in the Western countries, but still there are, societies where mental health are still stigma. I feel there's few reasons. Number one is lack of awareness and understanding. A lot of people still do not fully understand what mental health is and how someone can go through that, the cause of mental health issues. That's one reason. Second reason is judgment, the fear of judgment. What will society say, अब कुराहरू काट्ने छन् हाम्रो नेपाली कम्युनिटीमा लाइक फलानाको छोरा फलानाको छोरी यस्तो भएछ है भनेर कुराहरू काट्छ नि त and people know that but I think there's for people who are going through that like अब आफ्नो family-मा if someone is suffering from mental health issue there's that fear like फलानाले के भन्छ हैन let's not talk about it. Let's not tell other people because they may judge us and they may make fun of my son or daughter. भनेर त्यो the fear of judgment ले गर्दा चाहिँ कति मान्छेहरूले चाहिँ they try and hide it, they don't share it with other people or talk about it often. And that's same with अहिले अब यो autismहरूको कति हुन्छ नि cases are growing and not a lot of people want to share openly because of that same stigma and the fear of being judged and also people want to fit in, right? They want to fit in a society. But if someone is going through those mental health issues, then all of a sudden they become different, and they don't want to attract that attention in a negative way.
Okay.
And there's that, and there's also like status, reputation ko kuraharu aउँछ. There's so many things, there's so many factors that are involved in that.
Do you think it is mostly in Nepal?
It's more prevalent in Nepal,
Okay.
but there are other societies that have that. I think more prevalent in Asian societies in general.
Do you think like in the UK it is like men's mental health is more prioritized nowadays?
Slightly more. Still, we got a long way to go, but a lot more than in other countries, in Asian countries, yeah.
Okay. Many people say men should be strong and not cry. Do you think this mindset is destroying men emotionally?
I agree with the first half of that statement. Men should be strong. It's good to have that expectation because when have you heard this saying? Strong men lead to happy society or happy world. Happy world will lead to weak men, and weak men lead to unhappy world, something like that.
Yeah, so, I know it.
So we do need strong men out there. But the second part, which is men shouldn't cry is, I think, can be very unhealthy and harmful.
Okay.
Because you're preventing them from really expressing their emotions. And there's this association that if you cry, you're not strong anymore, you're weak.
Yeah.
In fact, crying and being vulnerable can also be a strength. So if we can define what strength is, then maybe we can change that.
Okay. In your experience, what is the biggest lie society tells men about masculinity?
So first thing, I would just want to clarify one thing is masculine or masculinity doesn't necessarily mean men. There's masculine energy, there's feminine energy, right?
Yes.
And they are not referring to any particular gender. They're referring to a quality, a trait. So masculine is more logical. Feminine is more emotional. Masculine is more like doing things, go get it. That go. Feminine is more intuitive. Masculine is more stoic. Not expressing. Feminine is more expressive, more compassion, more empathy. So just these examples will tell you like there's difference in terms of qualities and traits in masculine and feminine. A man can have both masculine and feminine energy. A woman can have both masculine and feminine energy. So it's a yin and yang, right? But nowadays what's happening is they're saying masculinity is just men. And to answer your question, what is the biggest lie? I think the biggest lie that society is telling, not just men, but telling us in general, is that the traditional masculinity is toxic, is dangerous, is not productive. That mindset is really, really affecting men, and if it's affecting society and our world in general, because that creates a negative cycle in men, because they think if that is let's say if that is what society is telling us, then it means men, it's shameful to be masculine. That's what it's telling you, right? And then having that shame and guilt is not a good emotion to have. So I think we need to change what it means to be masculine.
So you talked about traditional masculinity. So what is traditional masculinity?
So traditional masculinity trait are men should be strong, or the men are there to protect, to provide, to stay strong, to support their family. Traditional masculinity is about being competitive, being stoic, being doing things, those sort of things, right?
Okay.
Yes, there obviously everything has a degree, like there's hot and cold. There's a extreme version. But if you go to the extreme version, everything has a negative, unhealthy trait as well.
Okay.
So masculinity, so being competitive, and that is good. But if you go to the far extreme, it can be domineering. So men can be more domineering if you go too far.
Yeah.
Same with women, feminine energy. You can be feminine energy can be emotional and that kind of thing. But if you push it too far, it becomes overly emotional. You don't want to be overly emotional, or you don't want to be too. If you go too extreme, like feminine, females are the negative. If you were to find negative traits, it would be like controlling or manipulative. So you don't want to go too far there. So if there's a right balance of feminine energy and masculine energy, that's right. But if you push it too far, then it becomes unhealthy, right? But what I want to get to is, you don't want to define a category based on what few individuals do, right? For example, in America, there are in certain neighborhood, there are a lot of African American who, the gangs and stuff, and they go to prison a lot. Now, you can't say young African Americans are all violent. They're all criminals. You can't stereotype. You can't generalize the whole population.
Yeah.
So just like that, just because some men in the past and in current are, toxic and dangerous and evil, doesn't mean you define the whole masculine category as toxic.
Toxic, yeah.
It's
Makes
masculine energy and feminine energy are facts. It's not opinion. So you don't want to change or have a different opinion about that. It's like saying, oh, I fell from roof, or I fell down the stairs and I broke my ankle. Therefore, gravity is toxic. You can't blame gravity.
Yeah.
Gravity is gravity, right? So feminine energy is feminine energy, masculine energy is masculine energy. But you can't say masculinity in general is toxic. That will only create negative attitude and negative, negativity around in society for men in general. Yeah.
So you are also like founder of DYG Hub, right? What made you start DYG Hub in the first place?
So it goes back to 2014, 15, where I was actively involved in a network marketing business, where you basically create your team, recruit people, sell products and services. It was very much different to what I was taught in school and in college and uni. So it was totally different, and I really enjoyed it. But it was very difficult. It was lonely. It was a lonely journey, a lot of rejections and all that. But we used to have a training days every weekend, like on Saturday. And sometimes every now and then we used to have a national event, like in a big venue in the UK. And sometimes once a year there used to be an international event. So you would go abroad in France, Netherlands, Germany.
Wow. Very
and
interesting.
they would book the whole stadium, and we were to gather there and be inspired. And what I loved about those events, every time we came together, it's like being together with like-minded people, in the same room with like-minded people.
Yeah.
Everyone is trying to achieve, everyone is trying to do things, make an impact, contribute. And I loved the energy of that event. There was music, there was people connecting, networking, and there were speakers out there inspiring us with their stories, their journey. And we were crying together, we were laughing together, we were being motivated. And I thought to myself, oh my God, I love the energy. I wish I could experience this every single day. But obviously it doesn't happen every day. And then when I came back home, I used to feel lonely again because there was nothing happening. And 2016, I started my YouTube channel.
Okay.
Doing like a podcast. But it wasn't on Spotify or anything like that, just on YouTube, right?
Okay.
I was doing video podcasts. It wasn't that popular in the Nepali community back then. And I invited this young lady called Srishti Casey. She's obviously visually impaired. She's blind, but she's a founder of Blind Rocks. She does motivational speeches, runs workshops for blind people and for even abled people. And I invited her to the interview, and it was a nice conversation. And a few months after that, I thought to myself, she's here. Why don't I make use of that? So
Oh my God, I got just goosebumps.
yeah. So I messaged her saying, can we do like a workshop together? You and me, and maybe we'll invite some people. And she was like, yeah, let's do it. And obviously, I gave her some money. It's because she came from Nepal. She was studying here.
Oh, okay.
And so we did our first DYG event in 2017. So she was the first speaker, and I invited Hari Budamagar as well as a second speaker. So we had Srishti Casey and Hari Budamagar, and I just obviously it was very short notice. Within 1 to 2 months, I made up the event on Facebook and things like that. I booked the event, and I started inviting people, just spamming people and messaging them like, "Come, this is going to be amazing." And so that's how it started. Yeah.
So nice, so very interesting. For someone who has never attended DYG Hub before, what usually happens in your workshop, and what can they expect to learn or experience from your workshop?
So we have a big event once a year, and we have workshops every now and again. So big event is very general in a sense. We have some inspiring speakers 4 or 5 speakers who come and share their stories. They're from different background, athlete, sports field, business entrepreneurs, creative people from every different industry out there. And obviously there are networking, food and things like that, and some activities. The workshops that we do is very small group. So events are 100 people or something like that, plus people.
Yeah.
This workshops are like 10-15 people max. And what they can expect is obviously it's gonna be a whole day of learning, very intense, very specific, very intentional workshop where they will go through different questions, activities, group activities, different exercises. We help them find clarity in what they want in their life, find their direction, their purpose, and how they want to live the rest of their life, and give them the confidence and also the mindset and attitude and things like that. So, but it's all kind of personal development sort of stuff.
Okay. Can you share me 1 or 2 like clarity questions that you ask in the workshop?
So one good question. So we have this, obviously we got step by step. So first thing we do is we like, okay, let me give you an analogy, right? So if you want to go somewhere, let's say I had to come here in this venue for podcast, right? And I put on SatNav, okay, destination, and they will tell me, okay, 2 hours to go. You need, but before you set the destination, you need to know where you are. The SatNav needs to know where you are, your current location. If they don't know your current location, they can't really give you the destination. They can't give you the direction. So one of the first question we ask is, where are you right now? Okay. And there are a list of questions, and we say, be absolutely honest where you are right now in terms of your health, your finance, your relationships, your faith or spirituality, and where are you right now? On a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate yourself? So are you struggling financially? Are you health-wise? Are you struggling? Are you unhealthy? Are you do you get sick often? Relationship-wise, how is it? Is it healthy? Very passionate? So you rate yourself on a 1 to 10 scale, and we ask very specific questions. And then once we figure out where you are right now, and you're very honest with it, so you have to be, one of the criteria is that you have to be really, really honest. Because if you lie to yourself, if you lie to others, that means you're also lying to yourself. Right? So you have to be really honest. And okay, this is where I am. And then next step is, okay, now that we know where you are, tell me, why are you in this situation? So what is the excuse? So, and that's the step by step we go.
But it's very, very nice. So what is your favorite part of the event day?
So the favorite part, there's so many. I can give you a few. So first is seeing the audience like just being absorbed in the story, the journey of the speaker. Like, they are just focused. They're not on the phone. Obviously, some people are taking the videos and photos, but they're very focused, and you can see sometimes they cry, sometimes they laugh because they are, with the speaker. And so being able to experience what that person on the stage is experiencing is very, it's a privilege, I think. It's like watching a movie, you are in the movie. Okay, and you're not watching, you're actually in there. You're feeling what the protagonist feels. If they suffer, you suffer, right? And the second thing I like is the speakers, because in Amro community, we have so many talented people, right? But their story, they're not able to share their story with anyone. Maybe some people, if some people come to them and they ask, and they can maybe talk about themselves. But giving those people the platform to share their story, their struggles, their journey, I think it's inspiring for the audience, but also it's empowering for the speakers. And lastly, it's just people connecting, being, networking, being happy, like just seeing those faces is a pleasure, it's a fun.
Okay. I want you to give me one moment you personally enjoy the most every time.
One moment.
Your favorite moment.
I would say just that. So when the event is happening and I'm not in it, like managing everything, sometimes I get to just sit back, take a breather, and I look around, and I see people laughing, smiling, connecting with other people. Like sometimes you meet old friends and hi, or you make new friends. Like they're really into the conversation. Just the vibe is what I enjoy. Yeah.
The vibe.
The vibe, yeah.
Okay. You have had many speakers over the years, over the months. Who has been your favorite so far, and why did they stand out to you the most?
That's a very tricky question you're asking. Being one of the co-founders, and I wouldn't want to pick one over the others. But what reminds me, one of the speaker or experience that reminds me most is the one I mentioned earlier, Srishti Casey, because she was our first speaker, the first one I approached. And something was different about her speech, because nowadays we are a little bit short form, 18, 20 minutes long. Sometimes it can go to 25, 30 minutes or a little bit longer. But her session was 2 hours long. And it wasn't just just sharing her story. There were an element of workshop incorporated in her speech. There were group activities. There were fun activities. She was using balloons and giving different metaphors, analogy to teach life lessons. And there was also challenge. It was because she was like challenging people to come forward and dance like in front of everyone. So it was so fun because there was group activities and exercises and like challenge, and then her and she kind of infused her own story in it, in the whole session. And that was very memorable, not just for me, but everyone who attended that event. I think everyone remembers that.
I think your first guest is always special.
Yes.
Okay. Can you share a moment during DYG Hub when you suddenly thought, this is exactly why I do this?
I think it just goes back to I think when someone shares with you after the event, like, oh my God, it was so amazing, so inspiring, you should continue to do this. And like hearing people's testimony and what they feel about it, that's one thing that makes me feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. Another thing is one boy niece, he came to me and she said, we was just having a chat and said like, okay, go this like oh my kam chori ni, like I'm air hostess now. I was like, oh wow. But I say it's the medical health industry ma थियो नि. And she was like, yeah, I came to event and then I got really inspired. I always wanted to like try something different, something new. And then after that event, it made me think like, you know what? Let me just go for it. So I quit my job and I applied for this air hostess job.
Wow.
And I got it and I'm loving it because I'm traveling everywhere. So it's like hearing that kind of thing. And also in our workshops, sometimes it can be quite emotional and sometimes people just tear up and cry, and seeing those tears of joy and gratitude. Those kind of things put together makes me feel like, okay, I'm on the right track. This is what I need to do.
Okay, then we have talked about like people enjoying and having fun, but I want to talk about in your workshop, like when people cry, what is the question about?
I think people normally cry when it's about their loved ones.
Their loved ones,
Yeah.
okay. Is it like partners or family?
Yeah, family in general. I think it's different for different people. For some people, their parents are very close. For some people, their child can be very, emotional thing. For some people, their partners, their siblings. So anything that triggers their emotional bond is what makes them cry. I think mostly it's one of the things we realized during the workshop is we talk about all this achieving goals, targets, and things like that. But when it comes to the foundation, it's always the family that comes first.
Yeah.
And I think everyone realized that, when we have to prioritize, yes, everything else is good, but if the family is not there, then everything else is meaningless.
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yes. Okay, let's hop into men's mental health again, Dai. Statistics shows that men have higher suicide rates, 4 times higher than the females. Why do you think this is happening, Dai? In your opinion?
Yeah, that's shocking, isn't it? 4 times.
4 times, yes.
Crazy. Many factors. One of them is, the question that you asked earlier about the biggest lie and how men or masculinity is perceived as toxic and dangerous. I think that's one of the reasons. Second reason is, just wanted to just give you a context. A lot of how men behave right now is not because of what he, learned. It has a lot to do also with their biology, like evolutionary biology and the evolutionary psychology. Let me just quickly delve into it. So, back when we were like hunters and gatherers, we had different roles.
Yeah.
Men went out hunting, and fighting like the beast and animals and all the enemies, protecting the family. Women were there to nurture their child, look after the home, maybe get some food from nearby, like trees, like berries or fruits. And so that's how we've been wired. I mean, when I say wired, it's not that you can't change it. Now there's something called neuroplasticity where you can change anything, like any old behaviors you can change.
Okay.
But you are more predisposed to those qualities, those, attitude or behaviors. And fast forward now, men are still carrying some of those past, behaviors and tendencies, right? To be the strong one, to protect, to provide, to persevere. If you look at some of the dangerous jobs in the world, like, building skyscrapers, tunnels, they're always 99.9% men.
Yeah.
Because they feel like it's their role to take on those jobs, dangerous jobs, right? And so, because of that, we have this thing in our head that goes on where it's about, okay, we need to be strong, and which is good. There's nothing wrong with that. But society has changed, and we need to change with the times, right? And now what's happening is we still feel like if I express and share, that means I'm showing weakness, right? Because back then, it's very competitive. They were fighting for, let's say, men will be fighting for women, right?
Yep.
And back then, you couldn't show weakness. And that has still carried on. And now it's changed, but they still feel like if I share, if I express, then they feel like, I'm showing weakness.
Yeah.
And that is exactly why men don't share and express. And you talked about men being 4 times likely to die from suicide, right?
Yeah.
Men are also less likely to ask for help because of so many things. Obviously, the society, there's nature and nurture.
Yeah.
I'm not saying only nature, your biology is making all this happen. There's both. There's many factors. There's nature, there's nurture, there's how you were raised, your parents, guidance, support, your teachers, the friends you meet. There's so many things that's involved in making you who you are today. And so, men not being able to express, and I told you about how men are less likely to express or ask for help, and they're less likely to, more likely to go for other routes like drugs and alcohol and things like that. And there's so many reasons, which is obviously I can't go to all of it, but to answer your question, yes, men are more likely to die of suicide because of all those factors, the nature, the nurture, and just how the society perceives men as.
Can you tell me what are the first signs that we see when men are suffering?
By the way, disclaimer, I'm not a mental health expert. I think you ask me all this question is because I think I was doing some project with the men.
Yeah.
So, but let me just tell you, audience, I'm not a mental health expert. This is only for education and entertainment purpose. This is not a professional advice. Please go to your doctor or psychologist or therapist or whoever is responsible for those kind of things. But having said that, the signs, I think first sign is, did you also know that men's mental health are very less diagnosed because men are very good at hiding.
Oh, is it?
Yeah. Because let's say about with women, if they go through depression, anxiety, you can tell quickly. A, because they talk about it, they tell their parents, their mom, their friends, their sisters, their friends. But also, they're more socially and emotionally in tuned, whereas men are not. Sorry, whereas men are not, emotionally in tune, right? So they hide their emotions. They try to not speak about it. So men are less diagnosed than women are. So some of the signs, symptoms, isolation.
Okay.
They might spend more time in their rooms or inside the house rather than going out. Not talking. So when they're out in a social situation, they might talk less than normal. But you can't tell, because if someone is shy by nature or someone is introvert by nature, you can't tell if they're going through mental health because they don't know usually talk anyway, right? So that's why it's very difficult to diagnose men. Second symptoms is it could be irritation. They might get, let's say if you've got a partner that's going through mental health issue, they might be irritated quite easily, quite quickly. They might be they might be angry, rage, and they might take more risk-taking activities like, dangerous things, because just to forget their own mental, their depression, anxiety, they will do things that a little bit more extreme. They might take on alcohol and drugs just to suppress their emotions. And there are many things. Yeah, those are some of the symptoms, I would say.
Okay, so in your opinion, Dai, how can we as female and women in the family can ensure that, our men in the family are getting, taken care of?
So, okay. Female and family plays a very important role in men's life. I don't know what people listening to me will think about me. I'm not against women, in fact, women plays a big role in my part. I've been raised by mother, my aunties, my grandmother. I've got a wife and a daughter. So I'm surrounded by women, and I wouldn't be who I am because of them, right?
Because of
without them. So I have huge respect for women, but if we can create a very supportive and safe environment for men at home and in other places, it would be very, very helpful. So safe space will consist of a few things. A, unconditional love. Okay, no matter what mistakes they make, yes, you can shout at them and be angry, but you have to let them know that they are loved, regardless.
Regardless, yeah.
Yeah, unconditional love. You can't withdraw love when they do, things that you don't like, and then give love when
Make
they,
mistake.
So unconditional love. Second is you shouldn't be, if they share something with you, you shouldn't talk about it to other people, your friends, other family members, because you're violating their
Privacy.
privacy. Lastly, no judgment. If you are a partner, a mother, a sister, when men are sharing, you shouldn't judge.
Okay.
Because what usually happens, I'm telling you by experience, let's say finally a man has, got the courage to share something, and they say hey, listen, or a sister or mother or, wife, I need to tell you something. And they start telling, and the first thing they will say is, why are you telling me now? Why did you tell it before? There's judgment attack straight away. And that will put them off immediately. So you should just be patient, understanding, caring, unconditional love, no judgment. Remember those things. And they will start sharing more and more. And you shouldn't say like, oh, like, why did you say that? Or why didn't you say that? Why did you do that? Why didn't you do that? You should have done this way. You should have. So if you keep interjecting and telling him how they should do or they shouldn't do, and often like attack them in any way or criticize them, that only gives them more reason to not to share with you in the future.
Yeah, in the future.
So just create a safe environment. And also understand, no matter how strong a man is, inside they're still a small boy, little boy. So when you're talking with men, even if they're like muscular and is strong, and just imagine inside them they've got a little boy who are very vulnerable, and they are craving for love and attention and, you know, support and understanding. Yeah.
So, you know, when like a person lie, do you think it's because of the judgment?
So what do you mean?
You know, when a man lie or they don't tell things to their partner or family members, do you think it's because of, you know, they will judge me or they will think bad about me? Do you think it's because of that?
I think so, largely. But there are other reasons. Some men are liar. You know, you can't really. That's what it is, right? Even some women are liar. So there are many factors. Some men lie, some women lie, but yes, they are less likely to share because of the judgment and the consequence. Really. So if I share this,
they're gonna burst out to me.
Yeah, and also it might, you know, they might also think, what if they stop loving me? You know, so everyone, human being, men, women, everyone, one of our main need, like very foundational need, is that we want to be loved, and anything that might come as an obstacle, then they will try and hide or suppress or, you know, not share. Even like all these things like material success, everything is so that I can be loved.
Attention and love.
Yeah, love and attention. Yeah.
So that in your DYG Hub events, do men come to you sharing about their mental health?
Not a lot, no. I think I haven't nearly done enough to earn men's trust, because I only did that project for a short time, and I didn't even. I'll be honest. I didn't even get to complete the project because I was so busy with life, and so I need to start again. But you know, our device event is for women and men, so which is why there's no need for men to come to me specifically. But if I were to do some event primarily focusing on men, then maybe if I were to share more on social media and YouTube and online, then maybe I could get some men's trust, and they can come and ask for help. But right now, I don't see why men would come and share things with me.
I think you should start that. You should start, you know, awareing men's mental health, because this is like a very important topic. And in our community, I don't think, even in Western society, like even in UK, like Nepalese community, I don't see anyone talking about men's mental health.
True.
Yeah,
True.
So I think you should definitely.
Yeah, not just in our community, it's in world in general. People are not talking about. I think it's slowly gaining traction over the last 5, 6, 7 years. There's more talk about mental health, men's mental health, but 10, 20 years ago there was nothing. And if you go on Google and look for events, workshops for men, it's not many. Women, you can find plenty of them. Yeah, but there's not many resources, tools, supportive environment for men. That's true.
Okay, then what are the daily practice you follow to protect your mental health?
So to protect my own mental wellness, I do meditation regularly.
Okay.
Every day. Sometimes when I'm really, really busy, I skip it, but I do like at least 21 minutes every day. So that's my first go-to. Second, I try and at least connect with my family one way or another. So when I'm with my daughter, so I make sure to spend plenty of time with her. When I'm work, so I come back and at least spend some time with my daughter or my wife. So just if you're not married, just maybe spending few quality time with your family members or friends. I think everyone is different, to be honest. There's no one size fits all solution. You have to kind of, let's say there's like a buffet, you just pick what's good for you, what you like, what's good for you. So I'll give you a few things and you can pick what you want to do. So for me, meditation works. Journaling, not regular. Sometimes I do, sometimes I don't. Connecting with your family members, things like that. To be honest, I'm not very good at it. I think I'm better at connecting with friends, my male friends. So if you are like me, maybe go and spend some time, hang out with your guys, friends, do some sports and games. Also talk more than just surface level conversation, like, hey, how's your day, and just sports and what that team, what football, like maybe talk about
problems
as well, and life, meaning, purpose, and those sort of things. Reading books, it helps me. Positive books. Currently I don't have time to read books, so I opt for podcasts and audiobooks.
Yes.
On Audible. So those things help me, and just nature walk and things like that. Yoga, meditation and yoga is my main go-to, by the way.
So which is your favorite book so far, Dai?
My favorite books, there's been few. I think one of the most eye-opening in terms of finance, there was Think and Grow Rich and Rich Dad Poor Dad. Spirituality, if you haven't read the autobiography of a yogi, then you're missing out, because that's...
Oh my God, is it that good?
Yeah. Steve Jobs, on his iPad, there was only one book, and that was the autobiography of a yogi.
Oh, okay.
Steve Jobs was very spiritual. He went to India and spent time with a lot of the spiritual teachers there. And also The Power of Now by Eckhart Tolle.
Power of Now, okay. Okay, let's do some quick rapid fire round, right? Answer in one word only.
Okay.
So, love or respect?
Love.
Money or peace of mind?
Peace of mind, please.
Strong men cry, yes or no?
Yes.
Marriage or freedom?
Marriage or freedom? I would say freedom, because you can also have freedom in marriage.
Therapy or gym?
Gym.
Emotional or logical?
I guess I'm more logical.
Social media, helpful or harmful?
I'll be optimistic and go with helpful.
One biggest problem men face today?
I think this applies to both men and women, but not knowing who you truly are.
One thing society misunderstands about men?
That men can also be very, feminine. Men can display more feminine quality than women.
One message to men struggling silently?
Well, you're not the only one.
One book every man should read?
The Power of Now.
A person who inspires you?
My wife.
One habit that changed your life?
Reading
book. And one special moment from DYG Hub?
It was when I was crying like a baby, like in front of 100 people.
And what was that about?
It was 2024. We was doing this DYG event, and Sapna Rokamagar, she came from Nepal, and her work is very, 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 very touching and very difficult, because she deals with dead bodies. See
Oh, yeah.
see burns dead bodies that have been neglected or left by their family members. And she was just sharing her experience, and then she shared like she comes, she finds a lot of dead babies that women who, because of shame or for any reason, they can't tell their parents, so they just throw their baby away. And it was so painful. And I was the one asking her question, because normally we have the speaker just sharing by themselves, but Sapana, because she mostly spent her time in Nepal, so she wasn't very comfortable. So I said, okay, let me ask you the question in Nepali, and then you can answer. So asking her question in Nepali, and she was answering, and I was asking, she was answering. And as she was sharing more and more, I became more and more emotional, and to a point where I couldn't speak. I was like, and I just started bawling out, crying, and someone had to replace me. That was I wouldn't say a special moment, it's more embarrassing moment.
No, but it's a bit special as well.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, I think that's the end, Dai.
Oh, wow. That went quick, eh?
So that's the end of our session. Thank you so much for watching Nish with Diksha, and thank you so much, Dai, for being my guest and educating me about men's mental health, about DYG Hub, and also like you talked about clarity questions, and it made me realize what I'm doing in my life and where I am in my life. So it was really nice. Thank you so much, Dai.
It was an absolute pleasure, an honor to be in your podcast, and loved your your questions, your presence. Yeah.
Yeah,
Looking forward to more.